What's up, y'all? Welcome back. We've got a pounds for purrs workout, and this was from yesterday, the 21st. So it was a lower body day, squats, deadlifts. As we continue this new cycle of training, we're back to the 10 by 5 for both main lifts, and that makes for a really good workout. And I say that with just the ever so slightest hint of sarcasm, but whenever you're doing this sort of session and you're doing two big compound lifts, especially for the lower body, it just takes a lot out of you. So I kind of knew in advance that it would be a good one for sure. And so first things first, I want to give a big shout out to the gym crush who was there. And interestingly enough, she was there the day before when I did incline bench and T-bar row. I was at the gym earlier than usual, so I didn't think anyone would be there really, and sure enough, she was there. And then I showed up for this workout, and lo and behold, she was on the incline treadmill again, so doing her thing, and it was a very pleasant surprise. I was actually very happy to see her. And speaking of, I started this one with a warm-up on the Stairclimber, but I didn't do the usual 16 flights. I shortened it just because I didn't think I needed that much. So when I got to 10 flights, I thought that was enough. I thought that was sufficient. So 10 flights of stairs, speed level of 5, took 3 minutes and 18 seconds. So not a very long warm-up, but I really felt like I was good to go after that. Then I went over to the squat rack, started warming up, did a set of 10 with 135, and then a set of 8 with 185. At that point, I just glanced over to my right, and just because I kind of sensed that somebody was there, and sure enough, the gym crush was there. She took the rack next to me. I had no idea that she was even going to lift, and so it was cool. It was really, really nice. We have a very special, very unique, non-verbal bond, and it's really something. It's really something special because we don't have to say anything. In fact, we've never said anything to each other this whole time, and there's just this sort of connection where I think we tend to extend our workouts because of each other, and we probably push ourselves a little bit more than we normally would. And believe me, she has saved a lot of my workouts, and in more ways than one. And so I'm very appreciative of not only her presence, but just the fact that she does great workouts, and she has a wonderful physique. She's absolutely beautiful, and she's really earned her results, and she's going to just keep improving and keep getting better as time goes on. She's got a great work ethic, and we always glance back and forth at each other. Again, totally nonverbal, no words at all. Everything's unspoken, but I know we push each other. I can tell you with confidence that we just drive each other, motivate each other, and it's just really, really nice. That's not something that you normally see. It's not very common, but when it's there and it's genuine, I think it's just very unique, and it's awesome. It's just absolutely awesome. So she really helped me out this workout because it was a tough one. It really, really was. 10 sets of squats. We're at a 10 by 5 with 245, 90 seconds of rest in between sets. And funny enough, I was actually very happy with my squat depth. I usually am, but for the fact that I'm doing 50 reps with 245, I was actually quite pleased with the bottom of the squat. However, you probably have already noticed that you're only really seeing my glutes. And I learned a lesson from this workout, which was do not try to prop the phone onto the 10-pound plates, because the 10-pound plates that we have here that are for the Olympic-sized weights, they are the same diameter as the 45-pound plates. However, what they do is they size them down so that they only weigh 10 pounds, but they will fit the bar the same as a 45 will. And they are very slick, so they're bit slippery, and I didn't realize that after I had framed up and gotten everything together, once I put the phone down, I didn't realize that it actually turned. And so as soon as I put it down, it actually turned away from me, and unfortunately I didn't notice that until after the exercise. So I got through all 10 sets and didn't even know it. I had no clue, and I was very happy with my squat performance today. So that's unfortunate, but that's okay. And I would say probably after about set 6, that's when it just started to become a little bit difficult, a little bit tiring, and that's okay. That's actually a good conditioning check, but also at the same time, it's about when that should be happening. These workouts should not be easy anymore, and so this is the point where I should start to engage a little bit more and really dial in and feel the effects of continually going up in weight, but also the periodization with the volume. So 50 reps of squats, that'll get anybody working hard, so, and breathing hard for that matter. Also, I've noticed that whenever a gym crush shows up, any of them really, I have a tendency to lose the ability to do things like drink water or count or keep track of sets, things like that. Those just go out the window for some reason whenever they show up, but that's alright. So today with squats, got through them all, and I wore my Stranger Things shirt. I love that shirt. I love the show, absolutely. I grew up partly in the 80s, so a lot of that show really resonates with me, and I just love wearing the shirt when I work out. No particular reason, I just really like it, and so there's that. Random tidbit right there. Now for the accessory, the only accessory that I did was a reverse lunge, an alternating reverse lunge, which I really like doing. I prefer the reverse lunge over a forward lunge. Both are great, both have their place, but I do technically prefer the reverse lunge. Now, I only did a 3x8 with just the bar, so 45 pounds, and I could and probably should have done 95 at least, because I honestly, I breezed through it. I took about 45 seconds of rest in between sets, and it was a bit of a cakewalk. So I should have done 95 pounds. If I wanted to push it more, 135. But it felt good just to do anything. And trust me, after deadlifts, I was incredibly tempted to not do anything. And I did say that I wanted to do at least one strength move this time around instead of nothing or a cardio replacement. So I'm happy that I did something, and I really got to give the credit to the gym crush for that, because if it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't have done anything. My legs were toast, my lower back had been fully worked, and I was ready just to leave, but she kept me going, she kept me into it, and so I'm happy that I did something. And actually, upon recording this the day after, my legs are pretty sore, so I'm actually happy I didn't push the reverse lunge too much. I certainly probably could have done 95 pounds for the 3x8, but honestly, I was just happy just to do something, and I'm a little surprised that I did anything, but that again, credit goes to the gym crush for the extra motivation. Oh, and also, she did something different with her hair. I don't know what it is, couldn't even tell you what it's called, or the style, or design, or whatever, but it looked really good. It looked really good on her, so there's that. Alright, Sumo Deadlift. So I did my usual set of 5 with 225, then a set of 4 with 275. I was half tempted to do probably a few reps with 315, but of course, I bypassed that and just went to working sets. So here we've got the 10x5 with 340 pounds, 90 seconds of rest in between sets, and as you can see, a little bit better in terms of the viewing angle. But of course, this whole workout, you'll see pretty much more or less the gym crush. And let's be honest, she's absolutely gorgeous, way better looking than I am, and she does certainly more exciting exercises and more interesting things than I do. I do a lot of the boring conventional exercises, nothing really out of the ordinary, except for maybe the Olympic lifts. Those tend to be pretty fun, but otherwise it's a lot of the basic compounds for me, so you'll probably be more entertained by her workouts than mine. And let's be honest, you'd rather probably watch her than me. But Sumo Deadlift, good stuff here. Not going for anything really particularly special with these reps, just making sure that movement pattern was good, locked in and consistent, bar speed. I wasn't too worried about bar speed. I wasn't going for fast reps or speed reps or anything like that, but just making sure that everything was dialed in. And believe me, doing all these deadlifts after squats, it got a bit tough. So definitely a good weight, not only for the volume, but especially for the pace. If I remember correctly, I think this is more than I've done before in terms of where I peak in terms of the program. And if memory serves me correctly, I think 365 for triples was when I last did this program for Sumo Deadlift, and I think that's when I stopped. So I think I will be doing another cycle of this. I believe I'll definitely finish off this one, go back down to triples with a slightly heavier weight, and then maybe add one more, probably no more than that. And that'll put me in a really good place. Now, in terms of what I will do after this, I don't know. I can switch to something different. I can go to the program I'd been using before quarantine. I can extend this one. I can simply drop volume. I won't keep the same volume if I keep going. That's for sure. I'll probably go down to triples, doubles, and singles, or just completely go to something new. There are a couple that I've been really considering for probably the last year or so that I might try. We'll see. There's one that even incorporates Olympic lifting as the priority and then powerlifting as the secondary. Might try that. I've always been intrigued by that one, but we'll see. I still have some time, so I'm not particularly worried about choosing something quite yet. I do enjoy this style of training very much, so I could certainly see myself extending this program for a little bit longer, just dropping volume as I continually add weight, but it'll only go to a certain point. You don't want to burn yourself out with something like this, and I started enough conservatively so that I can actually add more time to it, but we'll see. It all in good time, so I'll probably make that call when I drop down to triples again, so we shall see. And that's pretty much the workout, y'all, and it was a good workout, a very, very solid lower body workout. And when it comes to the compound lifts, namely squats and deadlifts, no matter which version you're doing of either one, you're technically working the entire body. The entire central nervous system gets worked sufficiently and thoroughly. And with something like this, where you're doing this many reps at this kind of pace, that takes a lot out of you. And it would be challenging for pretty much anybody. So if you've never tried this style of training, it's not for beginners. I would never ever have a beginner do something like this. It's too much too soon. You'd want to do a much more moderate amount of volume and get your practice in that way, rather than try to jump into something like this. It's not something for beginners, and for intermediates, depending on where you are, that's how you would calculate your percentages, but also just for a starting point, because you'll have to adapt to both the volume and the pace. The pace probably the most, but especially volume. If you're accustomed to 3 sets, 4 sets, 5 sets even, it's a big difference. Then you would at least double that, probably more. Most programs run for like 3 sets, 4 sets. Imagine doing 10 sets, and then on top of that, having restricted rest times. That makes a big difference. So if you are going to try something like this, be careful. Start light. Be safe about it. Do not start at a high percentage. You will burn out very, very quickly, and for the rest of your training, you will just be trying to catch back up. So a little bit of warning for those looking into advanced German volume training. It's not for everybody. Not everybody will like it, and not everybody will stay with it. So if you are able to continue and reap the benefits, awesome. If not, no worries. Find something that you'll enjoy and something you'll be able to stick to. And that's pretty much that. Okay, y'all. Thank you so much. This has been... look at this angle. Absolutely terrible. I don't even know what happened. But, oh well. Again, you're watching someone way more worth watching during working out. All right, y'all. Adopt, don't chop.